One Zambia, One Nation, a warm welcome to Zanis News, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Trust Bemba alongside my language interpreter, John Chulu. The headlines. SADC releases regional rain forecast. Government commended for revamping Mulungush textiles. And Arts Festival launched. The news in detail. The Southern Africa Development Community SADC has released the regional rain forecast for the 2024-2025 rain season at this year's Southern African Climate Regional Outlook Forum in Harare, Zimbabwe, where all countries in the region are represented. Zanis reports that all SADC countries were represented at the forum meant to look at different meteorological data sets in order to predict weather forecasts in the region. Ministry of Green Economy and Environment Permanent Secretary Dauti Chibamba, who is in attendance, revealed that regions that experienced better rainfall in the last season may receive below average rainfall. Mr. Chibamba said those regions that experienced dry spells may receive better rainfall in the coming rain seasons. He explained that this is as a result of the neutral phase that the region is currently transitioning into from El Nino and La Nino phase.
We are here in Harare at the Southern African Regional Climate Outlook Forum, where the SADC has released the weather forecast for the 2024-2025 rain season. Of course, from this forecast we can see that there's some kind of transitioning from El Nino to La Nina. Of course, they call it that we are in the neutral phase. And basically, it looks like we might have some better rainfall in some regions, while in other regions that had better rainfall last year, they will expect below normal rainfall. But for us, for Zambia, what remains now is for us to go back home to downscale this regional forecast into a national forecast. This we are going to do very quickly. By next week, we should have the national weather forecast for the 2024-2025 season. On the whole, for Zambia, I think based on what we have seen in the region, we seem to be in a good place, although we'll have the specific details next week. So basically what is going to happen right now is we are going to quickly downscale this forecast into a national one. Thereafter, the Honorable Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Honorable Mike Posha, is going to issue the national forecast for the 2024-2025 season. But before that, our experts are going to sit down with the different sectors: health, agriculture, community and social development, disaster management and mitigation unit, to explore the possible impacts that this forecast is going to have on our coming season.
And Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Mike Posha, says the European Union, EU's contribution to Zambia's national development in addressing global challenges cannot be overstated. Mr. Posha was speaking when a delegation from the EU paid a courtesy call on him at his office in Lusaka yesterday. And EU Ambassador to Zambia, Carolina Stasiak, praised the Zambian government for establishing the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, which she said is vital in addressing the adverse effects of climate change.
The European Union's contribution to Zambia's national development cannot be overemphasized. Notable, Your Excellency, is the premium the European Union puts on addressing global challenges as embodied in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Programs. Your Excellency, the Forest Partnership between Zambia and the European Union is a collaborative effort rooted in this shared commitment to addressing global challenges. It is aligned with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, with a focus on Sustainable Development Goal number 13, dubbed Climate Action, and SDG number 15, dubbed Life on Land. Your Excellency, this partnership seeks to promote terrestrial ecosystem, manage forests sustainably, combat desertification, and mitigate climate change.
We appreciate very much that this ministry was created in 2021. This really shows the commitment of the government to climate action, and also it shows the realization that climate and environment and natural resources are not just one sector, but it's really something that is cross-cutting across all sectors of the economy, that we need to streamline this action across the board. Your ministry is one of the key interlocutors for our EU delegation. As you know, the EU is a global leader on environment and on climate action. The climate action is underpinning everything that we do also globally. As you alluded to, Zambia is currently, and not only Zambia, but the whole Southern African region is currently experiencing a serious drought as a consequence of climate change. And this drought, we see consequences on many different sectors of life in Zambia, not only on food security, on energy provision, but also on the, let's say, economic performance as well.
Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana says once completed, the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway will promote trade and commerce to the Southern African Development Community SADC region. Mr. Kawana said Zambia is an inevitable transit route for movement of goods, adding that the expansion of the road into a dual carriageway will expand trade among countries in the region and beyond. He was speaking in Chisamba, where he graced the commemoration of the SADC Day. Details in this report.
A team from various media houses toured Lot 1 of the recently commissioned 327 kilometers Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway from Gwerere area in Lusaka to Liteta area in Chisamba district. The tour was undertaken to commemorate SADC Day so as to showcase projects that promote regional integration in the SADC region. Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana graced the occasion.
The Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway is a testament to what we can achieve when we work together under the SADC framework. This road is more than just a pathway. It is a lifeline. It is a lifeline that will enhance trade, improve safety, and foster connectivity not only within Zambia but across the entire SADC region. As media, you hold a key responsibility. You are the bridge between SADC and the people. If you lose sight of SADC's significance, the public will inevitably lose sight as well. And that would be calamity.
Zimbabwean Deputy High Commissioner to Zambia, Patricia Mangwanda, had this to share.
The expansion of the road network is in line with the regional aspirations as set out in the SADC Infrastructure Master Plan. Infrastructure development is key in accelerating the modernization and industrialization of our countries.
The Road Development Agency and its concessionaire, Macro Ocean Investment Consortium, MOIC, explained the scope of the road project.
The project is being undertaken by the Road Development Agency through the concessionaire, Macro Ocean Investment Consortium, MOIC Limited. The project is being undertaken through the PPPP model and has a concession period of 25 years with a construction period of 3 years.
We focus on subcontractors engagement and also trainings of local employees. And also I'm having my engineer assistants here so that we do knowledge transfer for future developments of local engineering industry.
Shilika Chawalingula for Zanis in Chisamba, Central Province.
In other news, Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Permanent Secretary Subeta Mutelo says the government remains committed to supporting institutions promoting small and medium enterprises as well as cooperatives across all sectors through provision of an enabling environment for growth. Speaking during the signing ceremony of a memorandum of understanding between Liquid Intelligent Technologies and CNC 360 Consulting Limited in Lusaka today, Ms. Mutelo said the initiative to provide digital connectivity will enhance SMEs' businesses. The Permanent Secretary said this in a speech read for her by Director for Business Development and Grants, Kenneth Mumba, and Liquid Zambia Intelligent Technologies Chief Executive Officer, Mark Townsend, said time has come for SMEs to leverage on digital space to expand their businesses.
We as a ministry are delighted to witness this signing ceremony between the two private sector players. This is indeed a significant milestone in your collaborative journey, which is aimed at fostering a strong partnership to drive economic growth and development through digitalization. Ladies and gentlemen, the ministry support initiatives where the private sector plays a role in stimulating innovation, creating jobs, and boosting economic growth. Our presence here demonstrates our commitment to supporting private sector growth, encouraging investment, and promoting sustainable development. The SME policy, for example, identifies the lack of innovation and poor uptake of technological solutions as one of the many challenges affecting our SMEs' development and also their cooperatives. As such, one of the objectives of the policy is to develop a culture of innovation and technological adoption among SMEs and cooperatives.
We have to spend time with our SMEs to show them, to demonstrate how technology can help enhance their business. One of the biggest challenges that we have with technology services is they're seen as a cost. They're always seen as a cost. You just assume I need to pay for internet or I need to pay for cloud. So as a business, it's seen as a cost, when actually, if adopted correctly, it will enhance your business and save you money in the long run.
I'm pleased to inform you that we have since conducted 3 capacity building trainings in 3 provinces, namely Lusaka, Copper Belt. We're in Copper Belt in March this year. We're just coming from Northwestern Province. We were there in June, and we are heading to Livingstone, Southern Province, next month on the 10th to the 13th of September. So in the quest to launch the SMEs Capacity Building Training Program, we sought the engagement of the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development on the premise of the public-private partnership. With this formidable collaboration involving the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, CNC 360 Consulting, and the 3 chain stores that I've already named, have trained, and I'm pleased to inform the nation, we have trained 1,500 SMEs and cooperatives in the 3 provinces that I mentioned earlier.
Also in the news, economic analyst Yusuf Dodia has commended the government for equipping the Mulungushi China textiles with new machinery that will help produce quality fabrics. Speaking in an interview with Zanis in Lusaka, Mr. Dodia says the resuscitation of Mulungushi textiles is a good development as it will cushion various economic setbacks such as unemployment levels in Kabwe district. Mr. Dodia since called on government to add value to the textile company and motivate cotton farmers with fair prices that the company can contribute to the nation's gross domestic product. In addition, Mr. Dodia encouraged cotton farmers to practice good farming principles and ensure their fields in case of an accident.
We have a history of a very powerful textile industry in Zambia 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Over the years, the industry collapsed. And part of the collapse was poor foreign interventions in the name of aid. So today when we hear that we are looking at resuscitating Mulungushi textiles, it comes as a very welcome development and ensure that the cotton growing is enhanced through the outgrower schemes, recognizing that the value chain, even in the textile industry, must be well established.
We take a break. Stay tuned for more stories.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conduct that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Welcome back. You're still watching Zanis News. Minister of Justice Princess Kasune has emphasized that government will endeavor to establish a constitution that promotes the proportional representations of Zambians. Ms. Kasune says dialogue is vital to the country's democracy, adding that her ministry is committed to ensuring that the rule of law upheld to allow all Zambians enjoy their human rights. Zanis reports that Ms. Kasune said this when the Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue paid a courtesy call on her yesterday. And ZCID chairperson Joyce Musenge disclosed that organization looks forward to the ministry's guidance, support and partnership in providing the constitutional roadmap.
Through this government, I think one of the things that the president has been categorical about, he will not endeavor in a constitutional reform without all the stakeholders speaking to it, because it is only a disaster awaiting. And so we, as the UPND New Dawn government, through the party president, who happens to be also the Republican president, we will not endeavor in or dive in a constitutional reform that does not have all the input from the key stakeholders, which are represented through the ZCID and indeed many others that may not even sit at this table. So we are happy to hear that you are cognizant of that as well, and that you would even rather be the one that spearheads that, so that those voices are heard, and then it is brought to us as Minister of Justice, and hopefully to also indeed the executive and the cabinet, because we want a constitutional review, not only roadmap, but a constitutional review that will stand the test of time, which every Zambian can sit proud of. I mean,
we started the year with having a meeting with the Republican president. We were honored. He met us in March this year, and we went to present our issues with him. So we are looking forward to having future many interactions, because as you know, Honorable Minister, ZCID is a grant-aided institution under the Ministry of Justice. We also want to emphasize from the onset that it is important for us to collaborate with the Ministry of Justice to ensure the roadmap's success, because without the roadmap, stakeholders have been calling for the roadmap. These are our members, both outside Parliament and within the board. We have been.
Now, Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika has challenged beneficiaries of the Girls' Education, Women's Empowerment and Livelihoods project to use the empowerment prudently. Ms. Kabika has noted that the JWO empowerment that the government is giving to the women cooperatives countrywide can transform communities if well utilized. The permanent secretary was speaking when she addressed the beneficiaries in Mungwi and Pologoso district of Northern Province. Details in this report.
This is Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika monitoring the performance of the Girls' Education, Women's Empowerment and Livelihoods (JWO project in Mungwi district. What she found here is a success story, as visibly jovial beneficiaries told the permanent secretary that they have bid farewell to poverty. In Imporokoso district, the story was the same. Success stories. The permanent secretary commended the beneficiaries and challenged other recipients of the Jewel project to expand their businesses.
Those clubs, so that because those are the clubs that will support the economy. That's why even us as civil servants, we are willing to link to Kuma market, so that's now what a market. Eventually, you can even export to DRC. We are not far from DRC here. You can export to Tanzania, just even local, even other countries like South Africa, Kenya. So you should think big.
Bethia Simutadi for Zanis News in Mungwi, Northern Province.
In other news, government says it has embarked on the rehabilitation of arts infrastructure and provision of capacity building programs to various arts disciplines in order to enhance their talent, products and skills. Speaking when they launched the 3rd National Arts Festival in Lusaka, Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts Elvis Nkandu says government remains committed to investing in the arts sector in order to uplift the livelihoods of artists. Mr. Nkandu states that this will be done through the provision of policy guidance and direction in order to create an enabling environment for artists to thrive. He says this year's festival is important as it is happening when Zambia will be celebrating the Diamond Jubilee.
The National Arts Festival is a very crucial moment for the following reasons. Number one, it promotes cultural diversity and heritage preservation. It fosters creativity. It also generates innovation and entrepreneurship. It also provides opportunities for artistic growth and development. It also enhances cohesion and community engagement and showcases our national talent to local and international audiences. It is for this reason that government remains very committed to uplifting the livelihoods of our artists as demonstrated in the recently launched National Arts and Film Policies, whose aim is to transform the arts sector from an all-social sector to a socio-economic which has the potential to spur economic growth. And furthermore, government has shown goodwill to the creative sector by embracing on the rehabilitation of arts infrastructure and through building capacity to players in various arts disciplines in the country. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, let us continue nurturing our artistic talents, embrace our diversity, and celebrate our collective creativity.
Now, Rufunsa District Commissioner Richard Mabena says government is working towards addressing the challenge of staff accommodation in the district. Speaking when he conducted an on-the-spot check on staff houses being constructed in the district, Mr. Mabena disclosed that the government will next month resume construction of staff houses that has stalled. He said a new contractor has been engaged and is already on the site to commence construction. And Chipo Mule Investment Foreman Ilunga Musa Shapa confirmed that the government approved the commencement of construction works on staff houses in the district.
I'm standing before the 20 houses for the administration for Rufunsa district, which the contractor has, these houses have been given to the contractor to start the work. The cleaning has been done, and also they are now waiting for the materials to come. What has delayed is procurement of materials, which they are in process I think by next week they might start doing the works, and also that what is lacking is the water which they are facing. So I'm told the contractor is going to bring the submersive pump so that they can put the water, so that they can have water to construct, to finish the constructing of these houses. This is a new contractor compared to the first one. The contract was terminated, so the government gave to someone who is doing this, and I'm very happy that it's already on the site, and hoping that by December, if they are late by 2 months, I think anytime December, January, they will be through, so that the houses can be given to the deserving officers, as we have got shortages of accommodation in Funza. This is a plus to motivate our workers.
I'm the foreman of Mukwa Investment. So by this time now, I'm just now here on the site. I came here on 5th July. So by this time now, I'm just waiting for the material to come so that we can complete these houses. So we are only facing the challenges of these guys who are now coming here to come and start now vandalizing some windows. Yeah, those are the challenges which we are facing now by this time. And also including water shortage here. So we are also waiting for our company to bring some submersive pump so that we can have water. So if we receive the material, then this project can be completed in 4 months' time.
Finally, on our news, the Kasama Mayor Teresa Kolala has commended the International Labour Organization for partnering with government in registering persons with disabilities in the district. Ms. Kolala said the district has a huge number of persons with disabilities, but only a few are registered and issued with disability cards by the Zambia Agency for People with Disability. Japhet Munkonja reports that this was revealed when the team from the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services and the Zambia Agency for Persons with Disability paid a courtesy call on Kasama Mayor. Details in this report.
Government, working with the International Labour Organization, is conducting the mobile disability registration exercise in Kasama district to capture people living with disabilities with a view to issue them with disability cards. Kasama Mayor Teresa Kolala is happy with the program, as it will allow people living with disabilities to start accessing various empowerment programs.
And this office has been recording quite a good number of them coming through, to source for various types of help. And also a lot of complaints that come to this office by the disabled who are not on any of the government's efforts, including fertilizer.
Agatha Banda is Director Rehabilitation and Research in the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, and she highlights more on the program.
So once we have registered them, we'll issue disability cards to them. And it is the cards that will allow them to access the different benefits that the government is providing, as well as other stakeholders. I think you are aware that for those under social cash transfer, they are required to have produce a disability card for them to be entitled to the 800 kwacha cash payment.
And the mayor appealed for more sensitization on the program.
Kasama in particular has a big number of people living with disabilities. So I would urge you to make sure that you avail yourselves to the people of Kasama, making sure that you go on radio and just make sure that you touch all the villages. Kasama is very vast. It is very vast.
Reporting for Zanis in Kasama district, I'm Japhet Munkondia.
That report from Japhet Munkondia brings us to the end of our news this afternoon. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories. SADC releases regional rain forecast. Government commended for revamping Mulungush textiles. And Arts Festival launched. This is where we end our news for this afternoon. From me, Trust Bemba, and my sign language interpreter, John Chulu, it's goodbye.